What's going on, everybody? Austin here with Theory Real Estate, joined by Tawana Nobles with the Tacoma Urban League, here for our newest episode of Theory's Burning Questions. I'm going to ask Tawana 10 rapid-fire questions. She has not seen these questions before, so we're going to get the real, honest truth. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
Let's do this. All right, first question for you. What is the Tacoma Urban League?
Yeah, the Tacoma Urban League is a social justice and civil rights organization that prioritizes the needs of the Black community around housing, healthcare, education, employment, and justice. Awesome. And the Tacoma Urban League in particular is one of 90 Urban League affiliates across the country.
Wow.
And we have been here in Tacoma about 55 years almost.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So one of 90, are there others in Washington State?
Yeah, we're very fortunate. We have two Urban Leagues, so there's Urban League of Metropolitan Seattle as well.
Awesome. Well, that is amazing work.
Yeah.
Excited to dive more into that. As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Yeah, originally I wanted to be an attorney. And in ninth grade, decided I wanted to be an attorney and one day an elected official.
Okay.
But all of the aptitude tests said that I should be in political science somewhere. So
it was right spot on.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Next question for you. You were definitely the first politician we've had the chance to interview. What is your favorite thing about being a Washington State Senator?
The people. Absolutely. I think solving problems with people, helping them to understand the legislative process. I also serve as an elected school board director, but the same thing, just knowing that we're advocating for students and families and quality education, but people are the best thing about the job.
Awesome. We have some pretty great people here in Tacoma as well.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's your favorite thing. What is your least favorite thing about being a Washington State Senator?
Yeah, probably some of the divisive hate and rhetoric and behavior. When you are elected at the state level or federal level, it is partisan politics. It's not like school board where it's not partisan. It's just about education.
Right.
It is about values, and while about 80 to 90% of the bills that we vote for are bipartisan, there are some pretty stiff values where we just disagree sometimes as individuals, but I think also party affiliation, they're just major differences. And so I think the toughest part is for folks who don't know us as human beings, but have already determined judgment or will do hateful and mean things based on a party identification. So I think the behavior is inappropriate regardless. Right. That even if if someone seriously harm me, it doesn't give me grounds to myself as someone who identifies as a Christian, I still want to love that person and be kind to them. And so especially someone who's never done anything to me, I would never want to say or show up or do some of the things that people do in a political world just based on party affiliation.
Crazy. It seems like people forget that politicians are people sometimes, with real life emotions and everything else in between. So,
and I think more importantly, they forget appropriate behavior.
Right. Yeah. All rules are off for some reason.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, thank you for putting up with that and for the work that you do. Yeah. Next question for you. What is your favorite thing about Tacoma, where we're sitting right now?
Gosh, well, I love Tacoma, and I think my favorite thing, again, it comes down to people, but I think the community in Tacoma and in the Pierce County area has really grown me up. This has been a welcoming community. I moved here as a military spouse just over 20 years ago, and have been able to make this community my home because Tacoma is a special place where people work together, people care about the city, people work on issues together. We're willing to have tough conversations, but we continue to show up and we welcome newcomers into our community. And as long as folks are willing to create positive change and they want to make a difference and make Tacoma more of a welcoming and inclusive and quality city, there's a space for them. So I love Tacoma because it truly is the definition of community, especially in the 21st century.
Totally. Couldn't agree more. All right, you're doing great so far. We're halfway through. Question number 6. What do you see as the greatest need in our community in this day and age? I know it's a big question.
But honestly, right now, today, so I'll answer it in 2 ways. Right now, today, I think we just need love and kindness and understanding. I think our community is really grappling with this pandemic and dealing with the pandemic, and folks are hurting, whether businesses are hurting or individuals are hurting, whether a business has a broken window, so has lost a window or lost revenue, or a community member has lost a family member or lost their home or job. Folks are hurting, and I think we need to go the extra mile to be especially loving and especially kind. And then I think, larger societal issues, I think housing, employment, things like childcare. I mean, there are so many major issues that our community members need right now.
Right.
Wages that will allow them to find a home if they want to be a homeowner, or find a rental if they want to rent.
Right.
So we just need to do a better job of making sure we're meeting the basic needs of our community members, shelter, food.
Yeah.
And I think they're big issues to tackle, and we have
100%.
a lot of work to do, but I'm confident we'll get there.
Yeah, it's hard to be a thriving society when a lot of those basic needs aren't met.
Yeah.
Seems like you guys help a lot with those basic needs and helping connect people to those resources here. Is that right?
Here being Tacoma Urban League?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what I love about Tacoma Urban League, which is different than the work we do on the state level, because on the state level we can implement new legislation, but that implementation date may be 2023, 2024. Here at Tacoma Urban League, we can write a check for someone's rent, utilities, mortgage today. We can give them a gift card or a bus pass today, immediately. So I like the immediacy of, if that's a word, or if I just made it up, it's my word, of the work that we do at Tacoma Urban League, because folks can walk through the door and we have someone who can help them to start walking through the process of purchasing a home. We have someone who can help them to find an affordable rental. And so meeting the immediate needs of community is what really gets me up every single day.
It's pretty amazing in your unique role. You have impact on the immediate needs of people, and then also on the long-term needs of people as well. It's crazy you're able to see both sides of that and be so involved with both sides of that. How do you sorry, I'm going off script here. How do you juggle like the immediate needs versus the long-term needs of the community?
Yeah, well, I don't think I could do the longer term policy making if I didn't have this on the ground immediate experience. Like still in my life, because I get very impatient with, again, I mean, you can pass policies or pass legislation on a county level, on the city level, on the school board, on the state level, but it takes time to rebuild and create systems. And I think it's very frustrating to tell people, like, we are helping you, help is coming in 6 months, in 2 years. You know, like, that's not realistic, and that doesn't help everyday people. It's how the system works, but I couldn't just do that because I feel like it lets people down because they don't see immediate change. And some of those things, they don't see how those changes or decisions impact them day to day. Like, how does this feed my family right now? So I love the work at Tacoma Urban League. I mean, because we do fun stuff like purchase Christmas gifts for family, give them turkeys and stuff. But also we show up to the table to influence policy as well, and to make sure that we're advocating for policies, again, to school boards, to city councils, to county councils, up to state government. But it's taken me a couple of sessions to really figure out, like, how do these work together? Like, how does this all work together? Because they felt a little bit separate, like, this is so immediate and it feels so good, and this feels so frustrating and long term. And so I had a good conversation today with some folks from the state who wanted to know how they can make improvements in state departments, and I really got to wear both of my hats of, like, I know people who work in state agencies who work tremendously hard and are really brilliant, and there still is room for improvement, you know, for lots of other staff members, because we help people to access TANF benefits or to deal with CPS here at Tacoma Urban League. Like, we have to access state agencies, and we need quality customer service. We need folks to pick up the phone, return an email, to help the community members that we're serving. So we see some of the delay in getting help, but because I am in the legislature, I also get to see and know some of the people behind that work, and how sometimes they're overburdened. They have a lot on their table. We just passed new legislation. They have no idea how to implement it. So it's been really beautiful, I think, after this, like in this second year, to see how these worlds collide and how I can best show up for community.
That's amazing. Very eloquently said. The Tacoma Urban League is doing so much for the Black community here in Tacoma. Are there any other nonprofits or organizations you partner with or work with you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, definitely want to shout out so many. The Rainbow Center, the Tacoma Pierce County Black Collective, the Tacoma NAACP, the Housing Authority, Goodwill is a really great partner of ours, Tacoma Community House, another partner. Habitat for Humanity, Rebuilding Together. Just when I think about, and the county, state, like lots of, I know they're not nonprofit agencies, but they're partners of ours. Graduate Tacoma and Foundation for Tacoma Students, all really good friends of ours. We could not do this work without that community that I talked about earlier in my question.
Cool, awesome. I may have stalked your Wikipedia page a little bit and saw that you have 4 kids. Is that right? 4 children? Wow. First question there, who is your favorite child? Just kidding. Second question, what do you love most about being a mom?
Oh, my kids make me a better person. Yeah, cool. I think my kids are, honestly, they are way better people than I was at their age. Sometimes I feel like they're way better people now than I am now. They are.
Well, that must have something to do with your parenting as a mom. You must have had something to do with
maybe.
that.
Let them tell it. They just learned all this stuff because, when you're a kid, you have it all figured out. Like, I know, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. You don't think I've been teaching you?
Right.
But yeah, I think they're young humans who have great integrity and really good values, and they're focused and they're hardworking. And only one person in our family doesn't work, and that's my 10-year-old. But everyone else in my high school, everyone else,
wow.
has learned to work and earn
yeah.
and contribute, beyond themselves. And so my 10-year-old is ready. He's like,
He's like, I wish I could work.
Put me in, Mom.
Yeah.
So, but they work so hard. They're great students and great people.
Awesome.
I love that they make me better.
That's a great answer. Do you have a favorite book?
Oh, I do. My favorite book right now, I probably should say the Bible. To all the Christians out there, still
those bases.
Top one.
You're good.
But I love this book. It's a collection of essays, and it's called Life, I Swear. Okay. And it's all these essays by Black women. There's some poems in there too, but it really covers, I think, the diversity of issues that we face as Black women, from being mothers to being lovers to being friends to being professionals, and it just gives insight onto how we grapple with those emotions and success and
right.
joy and sadness. And I just really love that book, and I could read it like over and over and over.
Cool. Everybody add it to their list.
That's right.
All right, 10th and final question. You're an incredible role model to so many people out there. What's a piece of advice for anyone who wants to make a positive impact in their community like you have?
Yeah, I always tell people the best is yet to come. I'm human, so I'm going to have bad days, sad days. I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to disappoint. But I just keep in mind, do the work, hunker down, refocus. There is so much more ahead, and the best is yet to come. And I say all the time, when I have lived in shelters, when I have been without food, when I have felt the saddest in life, I can always know that this is a temporary moment, and there is so much more joy to come. So hang in there. The best is yet to come.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Where can people follow you or Tacoma Urban League?
Yeah, well, definitely follow Tacoma Urban League on Instagram and on Twitter. We're also on Facebook. You can follow me, Tawana Nobles, on pretty much all of my social media. But I would like to just thank you all. Thanks for allowing community to get to know us. Thanks for taking the time to interview me.
Well, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Appreciate it. Thanks for watching Theories Burning Questions. We'll see you all next time.